I have an announcement to make. I would tap silverware on a glass, but all I have is a plastic cup and a box of rice-a-roni. I will not be doing 2 videos a week for a little bit, for a while. 1 video a week will already be tough, but 2 videos a week will be tougher than grandma's killer fruitcake. But yeah, I'm sorry guys, I can't. I have to deal with things like a urologist. So please bear with me like a teddy as I work like a field biologist and figure out life. Microscope, mustache, twiddling and all. Peculiar. So yeah, I messed up bad. So it's only right that I talk about a ride that messed up bad as well. This video was recommended by a viewer. Thanks for tuning in to Rob's Rides. This is Rob, keeping it 100 with all things amusement. And if you're watching this, don't take freedom for granted. The Crypt at Kings Island, or should I say the crap. I'm going to tell you how Tomb Raider the ride felt and give you a brief synopsis of the tragedy that happened with the Crypt. More like a brief synopsis. Emphasis on sin. In 2001, this larger-than-life Brahma prop was placed right in front of the fountains and the Eiffel Towers at the entrance of Kings Island. You know, just to give the park a little religious diversity and to let us know that initially we'll have something great, but later it'll be reincarnated to some horse shit. I would say cow dung, but you know how Hindi people feel about cattle. Definitely, because when that Hindi stuff left, it went straight cheese. In 2002, the ride debuted. They had a media day, underpaid actress and all. The ride was located back by the beast next to the pond that has since been evaporated. And this ride replaced Kitten's Canal, that weird ass log flume ride they had. Yeah, we don't need this shit. I don't even care if it doesn't fill up the whole footprint. Just get rid of it. And they proceeded with the same philosophy in the next following year with King Cobra and Delirium. Only 13 years before King's Dominion caught on to that same philosophy. The entrance had a sign. Well, no shit. There was a Land Rover Defender parked very inappropriately. There was a small outdoor queue before you enter the tomb, and right when you enter the tomb, the line always stopped, regardless of the park's attendance. Inside the tomb, you stood on a small bridge, and there's these little figurines and props and whatnot. It was dim lighting. They had the score from the film. These bitches thought they was Universal Studios. You made it to this chamber room where there's these statues with cobwebs all over them. This is where they would split you into 3 rows. And that's when you realize this is either the world's smallest dive coaster or not a coaster at all. Then these chamber doors open and you enter this larger antechamber with this 60-foot sculpture thing. Durga statue with so many arms holding knives, just like single mothers feel, or like people who grew up next to Chernobyl. Okay, Rob, that's just wrong, Rob. This showroom pulled up a screen and there's this projected film of the best clips of the Tomb Raider films. It literally made you want to watch the movie, and then if you did, you'd rather just ride the Crypt with a knife in your gut. It ended with famous last words. Pull back the tomb's door, which has this triangle on it, this triangle of life. Walk into this big dark ass auditorium, just looking at a line of seats of this 77 seat gondola. The seats just resembling a Little Caesars advertisement. And some of the seats were a little wet, so you're just praying to God that that is not ass sweat. You just hear this audio that sounds like either a trap beat's about to drop or you're in the middle of a challenging Donkey Kong Country level. There's these little pouches in front of each seat so that you can put your belongings and definitely forget about them when you leave the ride. But shit, it sure beats paying for a locker. You sit in your seat and wait for a fucking hour until everybody's seated so you can pull down your damn shoulder restraints. I'll wait. Simmer down, class, simmer down. You get that all clear, then your over-the-shoulder restraints just compress into your lap and groin like a sumo wrestler just sat on your lap and thought it was a a booth at a Japanese restaurant. You hear Angelina Jolie's lips. You rise up this Durga wall carving, which is like 60 feet high. And you just stare in her eye like you know you just did something wrong. She's just staring at you like, what you want? I got fire and I got ice. Either way, I'm gonna whoop your ass. That smart mouth of yours. And you just flip in the darkness, and some parts you're upside down, then you rise all the way up to the ceiling. These icy stalagmites that will drip on you. It makes you feel like you just used some clear eyes.
For dry, red eyes, clear eyes is awesome. It removes redness and
you flip more into the darkness until this point where you're literally suspended and your shoulders are just like all up on those shoulder restraints, and you're looking straight down into this lava pit that's just squirting, and that runny skyline chili that you just ate is just running right back up through your esophagus. After that, it kind of ends pretty anticlimactic. There's some lighting effects on the wall, some quotes that they say, and then the lights come back on. Cool ride. So 2007 came along, and Paramount's was parachuting with holes in it. So they're like, I have to leave this bitch, and here you go, somebody. So Cedar Fair comes and takes it, and the thing about Cedar Fair is they are genius when it comes to amusement parks, but when you add a theme into it, they're like, what is this? But they said no regrets. Now we can hold the state of Ohio captive. And of course they have to strip the theming due to intellectual property. And so then they replaced it with some cheap ass Halloween store USA prop. It just made you ride in the dark. They didn't really know when to turn the lighting effects on, and they eliminated one of the rows so that it had lower capacity, but it made it more intense, but all that did was give you whiplash. They changed the soundtrack like 3 times, all in awkward ways. Then later, they changed the ride again and made it very tame, so it was just boring as hell. In 2011, Operations Management finally said, that's it! I give up. We're just gonna do exactly what we do with any building that we don't need anymore. Turn it into a Halloween haunt house. And so now we just have this big ass building that looks like a public storage. And that is how a ride that was once badass turned into a badass ride. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please hit that thumbs up. Please comment below. Let me know what you thought about this. If you ever rode Tomb Raider, anything that I missed, please let me know down below. And please share for anybody that ever rode Tomb Raider the ride, or the Crypt, or just loves King's Island, or whatevs. If they just love Huss Top Spins, share it. If you thought I was this one, hit subscribe and I'll come back with a new video sometime next week. But 2 weeks a week will. And then there's these icy There's these icy